Hello and welcome to Fandemically Reviewed, part of the Fandemic. This is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that do and don't. Each episode, I'll go over some facts about the movie, TV show, or something where you might recognize the directors, writers, and actors. Then read some of the best good and bad reviews I can find based on title alone. I'll rate the reviews a little bit and give you my thoughts as well. Also, you can make up your own damn mind in under 30 minutes. I'm the self proclaimed emperor of awesome, Bradley Butin, and this is Fandemically Reviewed. Right now, we're going through Acolyte. Acolyte episode 3 just dropped. Yesterday, last evening. It would have been 7 o'clock p.m. My time here in Central. And so I watched it this morning and wanted to get this out as soon as possible. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That's why I'm watching it. I have a lot of thoughts and I'm going to probably try to keep most of them to myself. I'm one of those people that if I don't have a lot of good things to say, I'm not going to say it. It's definitely going the wrong direction for me. But that's what I have to say. Let's find out what other people have to say. But before we can do that, we have to talk a little bit about the show. So episode 3 was released on 6/11, and originally when episodes 1 and 2 came out, IMDb had this at a 4.4 out of 10 for episodes 1 and 2. Episode 3 has actually dropped that down to a 4.3 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes came out with a 92% tomato meter, and it has now dropped to an 85% on the tomato meter. It started at 29% of the audience score, and a 29% is what it currently is at on the audience score as well. The synopsis for episode 3 is this: on a mysterious planet, the tragic journey of two sisters begins. So just a little bit of the creative team. The creator is Leslie Headland from Single Drunk Female, Black Monday, Russian Doll, Bachelorette. Russian Doll is awesome, and it is by far her best work. This episode was directed by Kaganda. I'm sorry if I pronunciate that wrong. He is actually known for Columbus, After Yang, and Pachinko. This was written by Leslie Headland, Russian Doll, About Last Night, all that stuff. Jasmine Flournoy, again, I apologize. She's from Russian Doll as well. And Eileen Shim. The stars in this episode is Lauren and Leah Brady. They play the young versions of Osha and May. To their IMDb credits, they have Midnight at Paradise and Wake. Margarita Lavia, she is Mother Coral, and you can recognize her from The Deuce, Future World, It Happened in LA, and in a few episodes of The Blacklist. Jodie Turner Smith, she's Mother, oh gosh, I'm going to say this wrong. Aniza? I apologize. Queen and Slim, Anne Boleyn, The Last Ship, Night Flyers. She's a super talented actress. Lee Jung Jae, Hunt, The New World, Squid Games. He's Master Soul. Dean Charles Chapman, he plays Tobin, another Jedi. He's a voice in Ozzy, The Voice of the Forest, 1917, Into the Badlands, Blinded by the Light, The King, Game of Thrones. He's actually Tommen Baratheon, if you believe that. Carrie Ann Moss is in this as well. She is in Dara, The Matrix, Memento, Daredevil. You know Carrie Ann Moss. She's probably one of the best people in it. And just for a reminder on my review system, I have a 1 through 5. Starts out with a "You Shall Not Pass." Not my cup of tea. I don't care for it. A 2 out of 5 is an "Are you not entertained?" Yeah, I can take it or leave it. A 3 out of 5 is an "I'll be back." That's just like, yeah, I'll probably 4 out of 5, "May the Force be with you." Enter into my fandom. I want to know more. And a 5 out of 5 top thing is going to be a "No, I Am Your Father." It was something that was life changing. It was just awesome. I am not going to be the same after this. Now, I base my reviews that I choose solely on the title alone and have not read through them. Please forgive me if I mispronunciate words. I normally know talk good. I'll do my best to read them as I see it. Punctuation good, bad, and all. All right, so here we go with some bad reviews. All right, so this is a 1-star review, and there was a lot of those after this one. And this one is called "Try to Give It the Benefit of the Doubt," and this is from the 12th of June, 2024, today. And you can look it up on IMDb if you want. This is, by the way, warning spoilers. But man, this episode was absolutely brutal to watch. Incredibly slow and boring. I was nearly put to sleep halfway through it. And when it wasn't being boring, it was focused on inventing its own Star Wars canon out of the whole cloth. So the Force just randomly decides it wants to birth kids whenever it wants now, fully undermines the supposed special nature of Anakin's birth as the chosen one. Unless these twins are chosen ones now as well, not to mention the Force is now the thread. And the fire that May starts went from small blaze to everyone being dead within 5 minutes. All in all, terrible example of logical storytelling, writing, and one of the clearest examples of what happens when a director and writers prioritize installing their worldviews into their content as opposed to just making coherent story. Okay, I'm not going to get into the political part of any of this. I actually enjoyed the first couple episodes. There was definitely some big problems in there, and with this one in there, and when I went back and rewatched it, I found more. So on the second watch, but it is what it is. It's Star Wars, so let's keep this one going. This one is another bad review. This one is called Execute Order 66. And this is again from today. So fresh pickings from IMDb. And this one is, through the years, I've been the biggest Star Wars supporter, almost to the point where I would go out of my way to find the good in everything they release. To be quite frank, I just sounded dumb. I try my best to make sense of the rise of Skywalker. I'm that kind of Star Wars fan, but I think this might be the episode that has finally done it for me. I think I'm done. I've watched a lot of bad Star Wars, and it seems to be getting worse yearly, but this might be the worst that I've ever seen. I tried my best in my head to make sense of it, but sometimes the answer is that it just absolutely sucks. We've reached the point where they don't even try to hide their agendas. I hate being the person to say this. I really, really hate it, but it's obvious. When I look back into the past, I will remember this episode as the reason I've stopped watching Star Wars. I'm one person, and it doesn't matter what I say, but I'm just expressing my feelings here in this review. I've officially lost faith in them. I am done giving any of my time and money to new stuff. Time and time again, they have disappointed me. It's obvious they don't care about the fan base and are content catering to a small group of blue haired individuals. Well, I hope it was worth it because your product is dying. Heck, it's on life support. Time to execute Order 66 on the shows. Creator and Lucasfilm president. Wow. This was just a horrible 40 minutes that I'll never get back. I feel dirty hating it this much, but it's just bad. All right. Let's keep going on this train, and let's change ways to go. Let's get a good review in there. All right, this one is from last night. This is a 9 out of 10, and this is called Reviews from People Who Haven't Watched the Episode. Okay. All right, so here it is. It is 9:30 a.m. Pacific time on June 11th, more than half a day before this episode airs. I have not seen it yet, and neither have the reviewers that have already posted scathing reviews. Mando, something, Potter, and Waldorf, 1979, have posted reviews that contain no details about the episode they are reviewing, simply the same tired old complaints about writing, acting, and destroying whatever generation of Star Wars they've fixated on. Don't take the negative reviews seriously unless they have something of substance to offer. Some of these are clearly about how the reviewers feel about the world, and they're just blowing off steam. I can't even count this as a good review because it's not. If you're not going to watch the product before you review it, this is like the counter the toxic haters. That's why I'm doing this stuff, so we can just kind of point all the stuff out here. So we're not going to give that a good review. All right, let's but I want to keep this going a little bit. Let's get another good review. Okay, this is called The Mystery Continues, and this is a 7 out of 10. And warning, spoilers. This person, it seems like, actually has watched the episode. It's interesting seeing people react to the fact that something doesn't make sense when in reality we have gotten to the stage of the reveal yet. Well, we haven't gotten to the stage of the reveal yet. Let's not assume or jump to those conclusions yet. We have some context, but obviously some things are being withheld from the audience at this stage. It's a mystery themed show. I like that we got some context, but so much is still a mystery. I imagine we will get more flashbacks and further context, but it was interesting studying the sibling dynamic. I am guessing they had died before May had set the fire. Just wonder who did it and why. Plenty more questions to be answered, and I'm interested to see the answer the show will give. All right. Cool. Hey, I'm glad you got your cool opinion. Let's go over another bad review. All right, this one is another 1-star review. It seems like there's not a lot 2-3 stars that I found. So it's just like a 1-star review, a few 5s, which I try to stay away from, and then 6 and 7s. I did find a 9, I think, 9 out of 10. All right. This one is called May the Force Be Without You. Nice. Very good. Wow, where to begin? As impossible as it sounds, the writing gets worse and worse, the acting feeble and amateurish, the sets cheap, even though they spent a fortune on them. This is not Star Wars. What the talentless Headland has done is take something good and make it dreadful, poison it, and then attacks anyone who doesn't like the taste of the poison. She has the audacity to put herself as the first 4 main credits, as if this abomination is something to be proud of. Honestly, it's genuinely depressing to see useless egomaniacs get paid lots of money to ruin something that was once close to our hearts. You know what? This is just about her, and it's political. I mean, you're not talking any points about the show itself. So I mean, I'm not gonna be able to count this one at all as well. If you have a criticism of the show, say it of the episode. But I'm like, man, yeah, I think it's brave of a headline. Okay, even if with all the bad reviews, she's still up front and center. So good job. All right. Let's do. I got a 10 out of 10 here. This one is a 10 out of 10. The Star Wars you don't know you needed. Warning, spoilers. From the first shot, the episode ascends above the previous 2 when it comes to the direction and cinematography. The set design this episode was great, but this is just the first 5 minutes. This episode carries its own arc for young Osha that sees her go from this timid child to an individual that discovers her destiny. This mini arc is interwoven in the continued mystery the previous 2 episodes introduced, while adding to the Star Wars and Force lore in new and interesting ways. I think the show is successful, delivering on the blank slate, stepping away from the Skywalker saga provides, while also keeping some of those ideas at arm's length. Are you really complaining about child actors here? I thought we were better than that, or better than. They didn't say anything else after that. Okay. Um, Sure. Let's keep going. Another good review here. All right, I got two more good ones. This one is an 8 out of 10 solid backstory episode. I preached the expansion on the other Force users within the Star Wars universe. Clearly, a lot of thought was put into this portrayal. Okay, that I don't think that's right. But anyway, portrayal down to the soundtrack and costumes, hair and makeup. This episode gives a clear path to the motivations of the main characters and shows exactly the events mentioned in the first two episodes of the series. Not much action here, but it's for sure an important chapter of the story. I see a callback to the rule of two here, and a few interesting questions were asked, including where the two main characters may have originated or how they were even born. The cliffhanger was a little disappointing, but I'm optimistic of the payoff later on. All right, and one more. All right, this is a 10 out of 10. This one is called one of the most morally complex episodes of Star Wars content I've seen so far. Warning, spoilers. The Brenda Coven is a group of Force users with their own rich culture and heritage. The Jedi feel entitled to take their Force-sensitive children away to train them. As Mother Anissa says, this is about power and who gets to use it. The Jedi seem intent on monopolizing how the Force is wielded. Perhaps from their point of view, they are trying to prevent the rise of potential Dark Force users. But clearly, they want to be the ones who hold all the power. The Brendot Coven appears to be a peaceful and wise group who live in harmony with the thread, what they call the Force. It may be extremely uncomfortable, I can't talk, that the Jedi were pressuring them to hand over their children. There wasn't pressure. I didn't see pressure. Anyway, to be raised according to their own doctrine, echoing the devastation of our earthly ingenious cultures of colonization. Osha decides that she wants to be a Jedi, and this raises another conundrum. Conundrum. I can't talk. Should an 8-year-old be allowed to make such a life-altering choice, or should her parents ultimately decide for her? She can't possibly understand the ramifications of such a decision at her age, which would remove her from her culture and potentially risk the survival of their culture. There are no easy answers, and I found this episode utterly gripping emotionally and exciting. Okay, lot of information in there. Got some good reviews. We got some bad reviews. Um, Overall, there's some lot of positivity of it. My thoughts on it, I didn't like it. I did not like this episode one bit. I thought the acting was off, except for the mothers, Margaret Levia, who plays Coral, and Jodie Turner Smith, who plays Mother Anissa. They were fantastic. The line delivery was pretty horrid. It felt like a high school play, really, to me. Um, Even like when they were doing like Force stuff, it just felt like, oh, I could do that on my iPhone. Yay. And the story, I like the idea of the sect of Force users, because I've been a huge thing. Like, there's Force users all over the place. If the Force is around everybody, you can start your own thing and maybe whatever. Um, they're making the Jedi out to be a bad guy, which, this is a Sith-based show, so I get that. It is what it is, man. I don't know. This one brings it down to, for me, um, I'm still gonna give this a May the Force be with you, just because I'm gonna keep on watching it. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna give this an I'll be back. I dropped it from a May the Force be with you to an I'll be back, because I am gonna keep on watching it. And me saying that I'm not liking something Star Wars, I'm still gonna watch it again. So anyway, best actor in this one, in my opinion, would be the uh probably Jodie Turner Smith, Mother Anissa. Um, there wasn't a lot going on here. Some pretty sets, I guess. That was about it. I like the witches. We got a maybe a Dathomir. I don't know. It looked that way, a Zabrak, but is what it is. All right. There was no show stealer. This one hurt. This episode hurt me. So if you want to find me, friend me, or follow me, you can go to Facebook at The Fandemic, TikTok at The Fandemic 1, Instagram at The Fandemic. Look at that, or just over 20 minutes. Uh, if you feel there is more of a conversation, feel free to reach out and let's talk. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next guest on the Fandemic. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. Go to Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/the Fandemic or patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic. PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Buchanan. I'm not going to say no. Most importantly, just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. If you like this, check out All Things Fandemic and hear all the fun conversation with myself, Brian, and whoever else wants to talk. You can also order my kids' books, Leveling Up My Awesome and Stuffed Animal Night Force versus the Dream Invaders on Amazon. And episode 2 of the episode 3 of the Acolyte, you just got fandemically